The Knicks have two of them, not only Latrell Sprewell, but Marcus Camby as well. In game two, Marcus Camby following in his own miss, leaving the Pacers riveted to the floor. His shot blocking has been exquisite. On the offensive glass, he has been tough, determined, ferocious, feeding off loose balls, finding plays, drawing charges that were incorrectly called. And then at the hoop once again today, Marcus Camby, who was not wanted by Jeff Van Gundy early in the season, has turned his season all the way around. And he told us yesterday that it was the support of Larry Johnson that got him through all the hard times.
While watching the game, log on to NBA.com for exclusive conference finals coverage, bringing you expert analysis, head-to-head stats, live sortable shot charts, in-game video highlights, and a chance to listen in to the complete post-game press conferences, all at NBA.com. Well, no, after this series and actually the last part of the season, no more questions about Marcus Camby's toughness and dedication.
No question about that. I think that they misread him. You know, he's a certain kind of player, but he's not a physical Charles Oakley type of guy that's going to be knocking people down. He's not a bruiser, but he certainly is a competitor.
But to Van Gundy's credit, Camby didn't come in here with a good, solid work ethic.
Sprewell misses from outside after Best had made a nice move to lay it in. The Pacers have not yet attempted a free throw. They have 11 field goals and 10 turnovers.
I guess Van Gundy was right. Whining does win.
I'm going to try it on you a time or two.
I thought you were.
Larry Johnson picks up the foul there. He does not agree with the call. Rick Smits is going to come in the ball game along with Reggie Miller, and that means Antonio Davis is going down, Derek McKee going down, and Allen Houston is in for Larry Johnson.
Steve, have you ever seen a more non-productive period in Derek McKee's career when he was healthy?
Well, we don't know if he's healthy. He's playing, but we don't know if he's 100% healthy, and certainly Larry Bird would like to see him give him something, so he's going to have to be more aggressive out there, and that's always been a complaint. You never know when the real Derek McKee is going to show up.
Reggie Miller missing the three-pointer right off the bench. Houston had the D on him, and here's Camby from Houston with the slam and one.
The Pacer defense absolutely breaking down. The hard pick early on Reggie Miller. That allows Allen Houston to come down the lane. Allen Houston had two guys, one on each side. Kurt Thomas on the left side, but he decides to go to Camby here.
Looked off the defense and found Camby. And since Marcus Camby entered the game late in the first quarter, New York has outscored Indiana 16-8.
And that has got more substitutions for Larry Bird. Dale Davis and Mark Jackson in, Travis Best, and Sam Perkins down. Knicks get it back.
Tom, the plus-minus for Marcus Camby, the plus-minus for Latrell Sprewell throughout this series has to be absolutely huge for New York.
Is this math that only people
math.
UCLA know?
It's not about geography, Steve. It's about math.
Especially if you had Lake Michigan in Indiana last week.
I checked out the map. Lake Michigan does come in contact with the state of Indiana.
Smits with a miss. He still can't get it going. Sprewell all the way. Latrell Sprewell catches the Indiana defense napping.
Well, that tells you that you can run. Everybody's been saying in this year's defense that you can't do it, but Sprewell just makes up his mind and beats everybody else down the floor. They lead in fast break points 6-0. Foul Sprewell.
Sprewell, we talked about that plus-minus. When he's been in the game, the Knicks have gone up 8. When he's been out in the opening moments, they've fallen behind by 1. But the quickness again that we've talked about throughout this series, shocking at the beginning. That's a great finish.
You see that defense that Dale Davis was playing? He was waving in air. He knew somebody was coming. He just didn't know where.
Here's the post up by Mark Jackson. The double count. Smits is the open man. And Rick Smits finally hits his shot. 1 of 4 to open the game.
You know, Smits' offense really works better for him when he can face the basket, get some confidence, and then go back in the low post. Sprewell.
Steve, he told us he can't pivot. That broken toe he has. The quickness again of Marcus Camby.
Who else? Marcus Camby. Man, has he been active in this series. He's just throwing his body all over the court.
side is right here. Jalen Rose trying to go one-on-one, had it knocked away, but he's got to give them some scoring. You can see the energy and the excitement from Marcus Camby. He is just flying in all over the place. Nobody boxes him out, and when that happens, good things happen for Camby and the Knicks.
8 seconds on the shot clock for Indiana. Steve, we talked at the beginning about how quickness is a mental skill. It's about preparation and anticipation. That's what Marcus Camby is doing, separating himself from the crowd.
Camby with 7 points and 4 boards in 8 minutes off the bench. Smits. Thomas fouled him. Smits with a chance for a three-point play. Kurt Thomas lunged at him after the ball was gone and committed a foolish foul.
Well, he should slap himself in the head because, I mean, the man is wide open. He's going to be there late, and he's not going to have a chance. Just continues to come in. Smits gets his second hoop, and it's a chance for the three-point play. But see how far away he is. You got no chance to cover that ground when you can't fly in the air. Thomas out of the ball game.
Replaced by Chris Dudley as Indiana is about to attempt the first free throw after almost 20 minutes of play.
Smits a full 7-4 on the offensive end. You don't have a real chance to guard him out there. The reason that he can't play underneath the basket with his back to the basket is that his feet are so sore he can no longer pivot. He has to just stand and face it.
Houston against Miller. Baseline drive and a bucket. Allen Houston put the move on Reggie Miller.
Nice defense. What, you're just going to let a guy drive to the hoop and make a layup?
Smits back to Jackson. There's the re-entry pass, and Dudley with a hand in the back commits the foul.
You know, Bill, you were a great shot blocker, but you never had to come out here and deal with anything like that. So Houston makes a nice quick move to the middle, and there's no hey red where it was Rick Smith.
You're saying that we never had to contend with Dr. J coming to the hoop at us?
We don't want to have any flashbacks of Dr. J against you.
We won that series, Steve. And Dr. J will admittedly, or he'll regrettably admit that.
Rick Smith once again at the free throw line. Next Saturday, our coverage of the WNBA tips off with the highly anticipated national television pro debut of two-time Collegiate Player of the Year Shamiqua Holtzclaw and the Washington Mystics as they take on league MVP Cynthia Cooper and the world champion Houston Comets. The WNBA next Saturday, 4 Eastern on NBC.
Welcome to the league, Shamiqua. You got to go right in and play Houston at the Summit.
Well, Rebecca Lobo sitting there pulling for her New York Knicks, but Smith has come in, 7 quick points, and he's keeping the game close. That's all the Indiana Pacers need right now is just to stay in contact. Houston again.
Jump stop, left hand, short. Houston was able to wade in and get his own, and then Smits ties him up.
Smits has found a rhythm, finally.
He went the first 19 minutes without scoring, and now 7 points in the last 2 minutes. Good defensive play there.
Let me remind you, lads, that you can't score when you're on the bench. He got in early foul trouble, so he had to sit down.
But he doesn't practice, Steve, so how can he have any rhythm at the beginning of the game? He has to use the opening minutes to get ready.
Houston nearly outjumped the 7'4" Smits, but Indiana has it.
He's 7'4" on the offensive end, Tom.
New York has 10 offensive rebounds in this game to only 3 for the bigger Pacers. Jackson, entry pass, Smith is wide open. Dudley lost him, and Rick Smith makes him pay. He is in a rhythm, and he does have 9 points.
Smith does have a history of having some of his best road games right here in this building. Timeout, New York.
Knicks take a timeout, and their lead has been cut to 2. Rick Smith has scored Indiana's last 9 points, including this latest bucket. It's 36-34, the NBA on NBC.